Good evening. I'm Dr. Alok Arora, clinical psychologist and director with JKP Care Foundation. And on today, on 12th of July, 2026, 8 p.m. India time, we are starting this webinar on concepts development in autism. So what are these concepts that children need to develop, or we need to support children to develop these concepts? So let's look into them today. I have listed them under categories. I'll just be presenting like a presentation. Allow me a minute to start. So concept development in autism spectrum disorder. The webinar is being hosted by JKP Care Foundation. JKP Care Foundation is a non-profit organization based out of Mumbai, Maharashtra, India. And we are currently working across the globe in many countries, including India, Mauritius, Nepal, and Middle East and Vietnam. With many other organizations, we are working towards creating awareness and developing support system for autism spectrum disorder that you call as, I call it as autism spectrum difference. I don't call it as a disorder. So people who are new here, you can go through my earlier videos which are available on my YouTube channel, which is Dr. Alok Arora, DRALOKARORA. Why I call it as difference and not disorder. I have explained them there. So come back. Let's today talk about the concept development. What is concept development? Concept development is the process of building meaningful understanding about the world. See, in autism, we majorly face this challenge that child has developed speech, but child is doing only need-based communication. Child is not proceeding further with communication, initiation, holding on conversation, and child is not able to connect with people, not able to create social connections or play with peer children, actively participate. The major challenge, what I see there is the concept development. Concept development helps not only in communication, but also in the academics, activities of daily living. So what are these concepts? Let us understand today. So concept development is the process of building meaningful understanding about the world. It enables child to recognize, categorize, compare, predict, solve problems, communicate effectively, and function independently in daily life. Why these concept development important in autism? So, as I said, it forms the basis for language and communication. Yes, speech is required, vocabulary is required, grammar is required. But if a child has speech, vocabulary, and understands basic grammar also, still there are children in autism who are struggling with communication. So concept development part is very important for language and communication, cognitive and academic learning, social understanding and relationships, emotional regulation, problem solving and decision making, and daily living and independence. Almost all the areas which are affected in autism, concept development helps in all. Some of you might be aware about these concepts, but in bits. Today here in this webinar, I have tried to bring them under one umbrella. So there are different types of concepts. I'm giving you a few examples here, like time. Time concept, first and then, before and after, yesterday, today, tomorrow. Space, in, out, under, behind, left, right. Quantity, more, less, full, empty. Social, sharing, turn taking, waiting. Emotional, happy, sad, angry, worried. Cognitive, cause effect, problem solving, theory of mind. And abstract, friendship, honesty, and responsibility. There are many other concepts. One by one, we'll look into all of them. But let me tell you, first, understand these concepts, then do the assessment of your child. Assessment on basis of all these concepts. We have the webinar group. People are already there in that group. So I'll be sharing this presentation in the webinar group. People who are not there in webinar group, you can just simply text us on jkp.ngo, or you can connect with the coordinators, or from wherever you have received this link for today's webinar, you can message them back that you want the group joining link for webinars group. So we have a group called Webinars by Dr. Alok Arora, and it's a free of cost initiative. So there's no fee that you have to pay for this, for joining this group or for attending these webinars. We were hosting these webinars on every Thursday and Sundays for last over a year. We have been doing that, but now looking at the schedule, the tough timings for me, we have reduced the frequency. But as and when possible, usually on Thursdays and Sundays at 8 p.m. India time, I am trying to do these webinars. So you can join the group, so you will be updated about the future webinars when it is coming and what are the topics, and learn about these concepts. You'll be getting these PPTs in your webinar group. So once you have this PPT with you, do the assessment of your own child. Assessment about these concepts. What child is able to understand, what child is not able to understand. And the best way to teach these concepts to the child is playway method. So with activities, with play, you can teach any concept, you can teach to the child. So let's look into what are those concepts one by one, and then I'll give you tips also about how you can teach these concepts to your children. So first of all comes the temporal concepts. Not necessarily that the child should know all these concepts in order. I have just ordered them in a sequence, but it is not necessary that child should follow sequence. Whatever you feel easy to teach, whatever you feel child is able to learn fast, you teach that first and then go for the second. So temporal concepts are the ability to understand and organize events in relation to time, such as before and after, first and then, today, tomorrow, past, present, future. So these concepts child should understand. Then only child is able to do the daily conversation and develop the language and communication. Understand the basic activities also. Understand the mathematical concepts as well. So it helps in academics, it helps in communication, it helps in daily living. So temporal concepts are very important, like first and then, before and after, yesterday, today, and tomorrow, or past, present, and future. Second concept, we talk cause and effect. Cause and effect is the ability to understand that every action has a consequence and that one event leads to another one. So every action has an outcome. That's what we need to teach to the child. And behavior leads to consequence. So one action, one outcome, and then it may have multiple outcomes, and then it may have different effects. So different actions have different effects. That's what we need to teach to the child. Third and majorly missing concept in autism is theory of mind. Very less we spoke about it, but it is very, very important. Theory of mind is the ability to understand that other people have their own thoughts, feelings, beliefs, intentions, and perspectives that may differ from one's own. So I think differently than you. I feel differently than you. My beliefs are different than you. My intentions are different. That's what we need to teach to the child. It is very important concept when it comes to relationship, when it comes to building friendships, when it comes to dealing with office colleagues or dealing with family members. And in autism, this is like, majorly this is like. Why children don't connect? Autism children are not able to connect and play with other children. Why they prefer solo play? Because theory of mind. For an example, I am playing a simple game. I'm a child, 7, 8 years old child with autism, and I'm playing Ludo. So in Ludo, definitely there is one person who's winning and one person who's losing. If I am towards the losing, then I'm sad. My emotional state is little low that I'm losing. But the opponent is winning. Opponent is happy. As an autism child, I am not able to relate with it that when I'm sad, why the opponent is happy. I'm not able to understand that the opponent has different thoughts and different feelings, different beliefs. And that's why what I do is In middle of the game, when I'm losing or when I'm finding it not interested, I just throw the board away. I just throw it and run away from them. And I'm not able to connect. Other children are not able to connect with me. So beliefs, intentions, perspectives, theory of mind is a concept which is majorly missing in autism. It is missing otherwise as well, not only in autism, but in all many of us also. We don't go deep into theory of mind. If we go deep into theory of mind, if we understand, we will have better relationships with our family members, with our colleagues, official colleagues, or with our neighbors. So major conflicts, what we see as an adult counseling also when we do, we see the major conflicts are because of not understanding theory of mind. Then the concept joint attention. Most of you might have heard about it a lot because majorly therapists work on joint attention. This is the prerequisite for any activities, learning, or any skill development. Joint attention is the ability to share focus on the object, event, or activity with another person by using eye contact, gestures, and pointing. So our child should know joint attention, should have develop the joint attention by pointing, eye gaze, or by sharing, by looking at any object or any event. Next is object permanence. Object permanence, what does it mean? The understanding that people and objects continue to exist even when they are out of sight. So when you hide something, child should start looking for it. That is hidden objects. Or we play peekaboo game. That is to develop object permanence. That means even if object is not visible to us, but object exists. So for children, many children with autism, we need to teach them object permanence. Means and. Next concept, means and relationship. The ability to understand that specific action or strategy can be used to achieve a desired goal or outcome. I want to do an activity. I want to do a daily activity. But I'm struggling because I don't understand means and relationship. Because I don't understand that pulling the string will open the curtain or unfolding the sides will open the box. So we need to teach our children means and relationship. That is, the specific action or strategy can be applied to achieve what we want to do, the desired goal or desired outcome. Next is problem solving. Problem solving is the ability to identify a challenge, think of possible solutions, and choose the most effective way to achieve the goal. So for one problem, there could be 10 solutions, but which is most effective? Which one I should be choosing? And if one strategy is failing, then I should be applying the another one. I should be going to the second one. Many of the times, children with autism, they learn the basics of problem solving. So they try, but there are multiple ways of doing it. They just try it in one way and they don't get success. They keep trying in the same way and they don't get success. They don't get success. They don't, and that brings failure, meltdowns, behaviors, or withdrawal. That starts from there. So we need to teach them in problem solving, we need to teach them not only to identify a challenge or possible solutions, but to apply those solutions and which one is most effective, which one they should be applying first and then second and then third. Now, how would they come to know this? Is through activities, through trial and error, through planning, through teaching them flexibility. Next concept is executive functions. Executive functions, again, very commonly practiced in therapies. The set of mental skills that help a person to plan, organize, remember, focus attention, control impulses, and complete goal-directed tasks. So executive functions is not a small part. It is a very huge part because we use it on a daily basis. You wanted to attend this webinar today at 8 p.m. India time. You might have planned things. For some of you who are from India, it is dinner time. So people might have prepared dinner in advance and planned. So set of mental skills that you need to plan, organize. Remember that 8 o'clock there is a webinar I need to attend. And when you are in the webinar, how to focus attention here? There are multiple things going on in backend. Some dogs are barking, some traffic sounds is coming, or some family members are chit-chatting with each other. Some of your family members are watching TV in the background or in another room. And there is someone who's working in the kitchen, but your focus is here right now. That is part of executive functions. So all of these planning, memory, inhibition, focus attention, all of these we need to teach to our children. That is called executive functions. Cognitive flexibility. Cognition is developed, but flexibility is not there. And that's why the rigidity comes. That's why we say autism children prefer a structured routine. If there is slight change in their routine, they get disturbed. Why do they get disturbed with slight change? Because cognitive flexibility is not achieved. So the cognitive flexibility is the ability to adapt thinking and behavior to changing situations, rules, or perspectives, and to consider multiple ways of solving a problem. So routine change, teaching them alternatives, all are part of cognitive flexibility. So when we work on cognitive flexibility, we automatically overcome this issue of stubbornness or rigidity about routine. So we need to work on cognitive flexibility with the help of changing situations, activities where, or games where we suddenly change the rules and child adjusts with the new rules, or give them different challenging situations and motivate them to find solutions for it. Next is attention. Attention is the ability to focus on relevant information, sustain concentration, and shift focus appropriately to complete tasks and learn effectively. So attention, when we say attention, we just understand the basic layman's word that I'm just focusing. Attention is directly considered to focus. But attention is much bigger than just focus. Attention is to focus, but on what to focus? Right now, I have some music going on. I think it's from the neighbor's house, or I have this fan which is making noise, or I'm getting sensory input from my tactiles. I'm touching my table, I'm touching my mobile phone, I'm touching my mouse, or visually I'm looking at a beautiful painting that is in front of me right now. I'm looking at the laptop. I have a water bottle. So my system is getting so much information that system needs to integrate. Where do I focus? How do I keep attention to this webinar or to the subject I'm talking about? And if I keep attention, okay, my focus is there, but how long can I maintain this focus? 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 1 hour, 2 hour, 10 hours. That is sustained attention. Selective attention. Multiple things are going on. Selectively, I'm giving attention or alternating attention. I am in a classroom. I'm handling multiple children. I'm giving attention to each child. I'm giving attention to selective child. I'm giving attention to alternative child, an alternative way, like one time this year, one time this batch. So this side or this side. Or I'm doing an activity I'm writing down from the blackboard or whiteboard or the screen. So I'm copying. In copying, what I need is to look at the screen, write down. So my attention is shifting attention. Putting attention on the screen, reading what it is there, and then focusing my attention to the notebook and writing what I've read. Then again bringing back my attention from the notebook to the screen, read the next line, bring back to notebook, and write the next line. So the whole process is shifting attention. So types of attentions are there. We need to make sure that children have developed all sorts of attention, all the skills that are required for this attention. Then they need to understand sequencing. Sequencing is the ability to understand and arrange actions, events, or steps in correct order to complete a task or to understand a process. So activities that we teach to our children or daily activities or daily planning requires a lot of sequencing. First, what I'm going to do first, what I'm going to do next, what I'm going to do then, and what I'm going to do last. So in the morning when I wake up, First of all, I'll do this. I'll go to the washroom, I'll brush my teeth, I'll do a poo-poo, and then I'll take shower. So what is the sequence? For wearing clothes, I need sequence. For wearing my shoes, I need sequencing. Socks first, then shoes. For cooking food, I need sequencing. So this concept of sequencing need to be taught to the children. Then comes classification. I should be able to classify things in order to in the format of their function or their category or their color, shape. So the classification is the ability to group objects, people, or ideas. Understand? Objects is very easy. Children do it very fast. They learn it. People is still easy, but ideas also. I need to classify them based on shared characteristics such as color, shape, size, function, or category. How do we do it is, say fruits. Fruits is a category. Function, cutlery. Cutlery is function that we cut things and eat. So spoon, forks, your butter knife, your other knives come under cutlery. So as per function, cutlery. As per category, we have fruits, vegetables. Color, we all know, red, blue in colors. Shape, rectangle or triangle or otherwise. And the size. So color, shape, size, function, and category, but not only the objects, people also. Category, family, neighbors, school friends, society friends. That is category. Club members, category. Functions, people, functions, teachers, therapists, family. Again, family comes in functions also, category also. Doctors, these are functions. As per function, we are classifying. So this is how we need to teach to our children, all these concepts. We just usually end classification by teaching them color, shape, size. But we need to teach them beyond that. Similarly, ideas. Whatever ideas are coming to their mind. Or if I want to achieve a task, there are different ideas. I need to categorize them as per their function, as per their category. Difficult ideas, easy to do ideas, all those achievable, all those things, doables, practical. Likewise, we need to teach them classification. Then comes matching. Matching is the ability to identify and pair objects, pictures, symbols, and ideas that are same, similar, or meaningfully related. So matching is not just matching the colors or matching the balls or matching the items. It is same, different, associated, similar, or meaningfully related. The related with the purpose. So all the items that I have in the kitchen, I can match them. So if you give me items from the kitchen and from the bathroom, I can match items for the bathroom, items for the kitchen as per their meaningful use. So likewise, we need to teach them matching concepts. Symbolic, and all of this you can do very comfortably in the home environment. Parents, please understand, therapy at home is the best therapy. That does not mean that I am not asking you to continue therapies for your children. Professional therapies are very important, and therapists are there to support you. But child's major learning is at home. So from therapies, children learn, but home therapy, they become expert. So all generalization, and you don't have to buy anything, any new stuff or any specific things for therapies at home. Maximum time child is spending with you. Child can go to school for 4, 5, 6 hours. Child can go to therapy center for 1, 2, 3 hours. Rest 16, 17, 18, 19 hours, child is with you. And you don't have to do specific therapies. That is the job of therapists. Let them do that. You need to do activities with your child. Now, but activity is structured as per these concepts. If you start doing it, you win the race. So next is symbolic representation. What is symbolic representation? Ability to understand that symbols such as picture, word, letter, number, or gesture represent a real object, action, idea, or meaning. Children with autism who are non-verbal, we teach them gesture communication or communication via picture cards, visual cues. But there, we need to develop symbolic representation. I'm trying to teach my child gesture communication, but child is not learning. I'm failing. Why? Probably symbolic representation concept is not there. First, you develop this concept and then teach them gesture communication. Then teach them the representation of symbols or letters or numbers or items. Then you see, it's like relating pictures or letters or words or gestures to the real activities, to the real world situations or objects. That is symbolic representation. Pretend play. If anyone has questions, you can put it in the chat group. I will answer the questions after completion of this presentation, or you can ask the questions related to the subject once I complete the presentation. So hold on the questions. You can put them in chat group, chat box also, or you can unmute and ask me towards the end of the presentation. So pretend play. Pretend play, the ability to use imagination to act out real life or functional situations where objects, actions, or roles represent something beyond their literal meaning. Children often do pretend play, but children with autism find it difficult to do pretend play. Pretend play in the kitchen, cooking, like mama, or playing doctor, or playing teacher and student games. All of these games are designed to develop pretend play in children, the concept. But many children find it difficult. And pretend play is very important to, plan things, to visualize things, or to imagine ideas or things. So it is really important. So we need to teach the pretend play concept to our children. Social concepts. Social concepts are the understanding of social rules, boundaries, interactions, and behaviors that enable a person to communicate, cooperate, and build meaningful relationship with others. That comes sharing, greeting, helping, all of these concepts that we teach our children. They come turn taking, patience development, delayed gratification. All of these comes under social concepts. Emotions. Emotional concepts are the ability to recognize, understand, express, and regulate one's own emotions, while also identifying and responding appropriately to the emotions of others. So I'm feeling sad, I'm feeling happy, but I'm feeling sad and happy. What about others? So we need to, in emotions, we need to teach them recognition of emotions, regulation, how to regularize, and how to show empathy to others. So connection with others, understand of others' emotions also, not only own emotions, but others' emotions also. Self-awareness, the ability to recognize and understand one's own identity, my own body, my thoughts, my feelings, strength, preferences, and actions. Usually in autism, I have seen self-awareness is limited to own body. That's it. And sometimes I see it goes to my likings and my family. But what about my thoughts? What about my feelings? What about my strengths? What about my preferences and actions? I'm responsible for my actions. So I should first understand my actions. I should be aware about the actions I'm taking. If I don't have self-awareness for my actions, you can never teach me to be responsible for my actions. So we say responsibility of taking of own actions. But how would I take responsibility if I'm not self-aware about actions, my own actions? So I need to be aware about them first, and then you teach me responsibility. Perspective taking. Perspective taking is the ability to understand that other people may have different thoughts, feelings, viewpoints, and experience from one's own. So my view and your view. For the same item, like a glass, half full with water, you may look at it half empty glass, I may look at it half full glass. So my view is this and your view is this. And it's not only about glass, it's about everything in an apple. A doctor may look at an apple as a nutrient food, rich in vitamin, nutrients. A seller of apple may look at it as a commodity, as an just a commodity that he needs to sell as soon as possible. A child may look at an apple as color, red, or a hungry man may look at apple as hunger. So we have different perspective, different views about different items in different situations. So my view, your view, and situational changes. That needs to be taught under perspective taking. It's not about the items, but also about thoughts, feelings, viewpoints, and experiences. We all have different experiences, so child should also understand this, that we learn from our experiences. My experience is different, your experience. Next comes social rules. The understanding of socially appropriate behaviors, expectations, and boundaries that help individuals interact safely, respectfully, and effectively in different social situations. Like Q, privacy, personal space, once we teach it, the major challenge which parents have, socially inappropriate behaviors, which you call as tantrums or meltdowns, that comes in shopping malls, that comes in public places. Then child is not able to control his emotions. Once we teach them, we have experienced this, once we teach them social rules, we have seen an improvement that yes, they are emotionally disturbed, but they don't exhibit as meltdown. Once they come back home, they exhibit it as meltdown because they understand their hyperactivity or their meltdowns or their behavior is appropriate to show at home, but not in social public places. They learn that boundary. And that starts from home. We teach them in home the boundaries. And then slowly take it to the social rules, to the public places. Safety. Many children in autism are unaware about danger. They just run on the roads or they don't look at traffic. Any stranger, they just mix up with the stranger and stranger can take them away. They don't know hot and cold concepts. So under safety, we teach them the understanding of safe and unsafe situations, potential dangers, and appropriate actions needed to protect oneself from others. So traffic, strangers, hot, sharp, the knife and the other sharp items like scissors and all. So all those hazard items. So we teach them height, all those things we teach them. It's under safety concept. Then spatial concepts. The ability to understand the location, position, direction, and relationship of objects in space, such as in, on, under, beside, between, left, right. So in, out, left, right, near and far, all these concepts. Concepts related to the position of items or relationships. So as per the relationship of the objects, we teach them these patterns. That helps a lot in daily activities, in skill development, in vocational trainings. Size and quantity, big and small, more or less, full or empty. The ability to understand and compare dimensions, weight, amount, and number of objects. Using concepts such as big, small, heavy, light, more or less, full, empty, many and few, we teach them size and quantity. Next is number concept. We teach them counting. Every child we teach counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the ability to understand numbers, counting, quantity, numerical relationships, and basic mathematical operations used in everyday's life. but ordinal numbers. What comes first? What comes after that? The sequencing of numbers. All of this is also part of number concepts. Language concepts. Children remain on need-based communication until we teach them the language concepts. The ability to understand and use words, sentences, grammar, and meanings to communicate. I can memorize words, 1,000 words. I can form sentences. I understand the grammar. But how do I relate all of them in a meaningful way to communicate, comprehend, or express thoughts effectively? Not only the needs, but thoughts also. How do I use them for my learning? So WH question, pronouns, prepositions, all of these things are part of language concepts. Memory concepts. The ability to encode, store, and retrieve information, enabling learning, recall of past experiences, and the application of knowledge in the new situations. Many of the times, parents come to us and they say, child knows this, child has done it many times, but when you are asking, child is not doing it. Because child is not able to retrieve the information from the memory under different circumstances. While sitting in a calm position, child is able to retrieve. But when a stranger is involved, somebody is asking a question, child is not able to retrieve. So memory is not only to memorize things, but it is to encode, to store, memorize, store. And the retrieval process, retrieve when necessary. It's like brain is like you have a storeroom in your house. Whatever comes in your hand, you keep on dumping in the storeroom, keep on dumping, keep on dumping. And when you need something, you need to search for the whole storeroom. It takes a longer time. But if you dump, while dumping itself, if you organize, and that is the reason that we have dreams. Because at night when we sleep, all other organs are rest to sleep, they go slow in their activities. Brain activity is increased. The maximum oxygen that we inhale through our breath is supplied to the brain. What does brain do at night when every organ is sleeping, the body is sleeping? Why the brain activities are more? Because that is the time when your neurons are communicating with each other and keeping the files. Neurotransmitters are running here, from there, and keeping organizing the items. The whole day events, whatever has happened, all information that has come to the brain is cleaning. And that's why when you wake up in the morning, you feel fresh. Your brain is relaxed. You feel lightheaded because all the information that was going through our sensory system in our body has been organized. And during this organization process, there are some neurotransmitters that collapse with each other. One was holding old memory, a file of 10 years old. Another was holding today's file and they wanted to keep it, but the files fell down and you see a dream of 10 years old memory mixed with today's memory. That's how the dreams come. It's just a layman's way I'm explaining it to you. It's not the scientific way, but just a layman's way. So child should be able to, sleeping is also very, very important for memory because the organization part. So encoding, storing, retrieving, organizing, enabling to learning, all of this is part of memory concepts. Recalling of past experiences that will teach retrieval from memory. So visual memory, auditory memory, working memory, there are different types of memories that concepts we need to teach and develop in child. Then comes the next part, that is sensory and regulation. Sensory and self-regulation concepts, the ability to understand, respond to, and manage sensory experiences and emotional or behavioral states in order to remain calm, focused, and engaged in daily activities. Like hot and cold, calm body, break, all of these things we do for the sensory and regulation. And most of the time therapists work on sensory regulation alone. Behavior, the ability to understand expected and unexpected behaviors. Behavior is not just to behave. In casual language, we just say behavior, child behaves this way, child behaves this way. So it's just the outcome. It's not outcome. It's the understanding how I am supposed to behave here. That is also taught in behavior. Different social settings, we have different behaviors. So in my physical settings, with different people, with different materials, all three things, I call them as environment, child environment. So anybody's environment. So environment consists of people, physical settings, and the materials. And behavior changes with all three. Try drinking water from a spoon instead of a glass. Or try drinking water from a 5 liter can instead of half-liter bottle. Your behavior changes automatically, involuntarily. Materials. Try writing with a pen, regular pen, and try writing up with a pen which is 1 feet long. Your writing changes, the way you are holding the pen, the way you are writing changes, and it impacts your behavior. So we change the material, our behavior shifts. We change people, our behavior shifts. Your behavior with your parents, with your family members, with your husband and wife, with your boyfriend or girlfriend, or with your friends, with your doctor, with the school teacher of your child, or with a stranger is different, isn't it? Behavior shifts with physical settings also. You are in a club, discotheque, your behavior is different. You go to a hospital, your behavior shifts automatically. The moment you enter in the school of your child, behavior shifts. And the moment you are in a public place, behavior is different. The moment you are at your own home, behavior is different. Moment you are in a wedding party, behavior is different. Moment you are in your friend's house or relative's house, behavior is different. So behavior shifts with these all people, physical settings, and materials that we use. What is expected in which environment? That also need to be taught to the child. So the ability to understand expected and unexpected behaviors, make appropriate choices, and recognize the consequences of one's action in different situations, different environments. That needs to be taught to develop the behavior concept. Daily living. Daily living concepts, the ability to understand and perform everyday self-care, basic ideals, and functional life skills independently, such as dressing, eating, toileting, personal hygiene, and household routines. Functional communication. The ability to use communication purposefully to express needs, share information, ask questions, make choices, seek help, and interact effectively in everyday situations. So communication and then functional communication. So child comes from speech to language, communication, and functional communication. So how to request, reject, deny, accept, help, make choice, all of this is part of communication, functional communication that we need to teach the child. Academic readiness, prerequisites for the academics. So preschooling programs that we run, the ability to develop the foundational cognitive, language, attention, behavioral skills needed for successful participation in school and formal learning. So preschooling is for academic readiness, where we develop the listening, taking instructions, doing tasks, or attention, language, basic language, behavior in the classroom. All of this is covered. Then comes abstract concepts. At a higher level, we start it as early as possible, but as children grow, we teach it more. So the ability to understand ideas that cannot be directly seen or touched, such as time, friendship, honesty, fairness, responsibility, rules, emotions, that cannot be seen, that cannot be touched, but difficult to teach. Things that can be seen and touched, the objects, easy to teach because children can see, touch. Autism children are mostly visual learners. They enjoy learning through visuals. But here in abstract concepts, There's nothing visible. Friendship. Can you see friendship? Can you see honesty? So all these concepts we need to teach. Metacognition. Metacognition is the ability to think about, monitor, and regulate own thinking, learning, and problem-solving processes. Not about others, but about myself. I know this. I need help. I need to try again. I am taking this decision. This decision is better or the second one is better. All this comes under metacognition. So ability to think about myself, about monitoring myself. I'm doing it right or not. I'm going on this road. Little ahead I go and then I see, no, this is not the correct road, I guess. I need to take a U-turn. Who tells me this? Metacognition. Then I take a U-turn. I go. So correcting myself. I'm making a mistake, about to make a mistake, correcting myself. I'm doing a process, monitoring myself. I have prepared this PPT, so I have monitored myself while preparing. Oh, I've covered this, I've covered this, I've covered this. Any point I'm missing? Anything that I'm missing? Anything that is important that is related to the subject which I am not covering up? Metacognition. So we need to teach metacognition also to children with autism. Generalization. Many are the time we fail in this. A skill, a concept, a learning. What I have learned in one environment should be practiced in all environments. Again, when I say environment, it is three things. Remember, physical settings, people, and materials. So I have learned to write in the classroom on the notebook. I should be able to write on the notepad also, on the board also, on a paper or a notebook, binded notebook. I should be able to write in the school, at home also. I should be able to write with a pencil and a pen also. So that is generalization with different people. Otherwise, common complaint. In front of therapist, child is doing it. At home, child is not doing. Generalization is missing. With mama, child is doing things, but with papa, child is not doing it. Generalization. So different skills. So ability to apply a learned skill that I have already learned or concept or behavior across different people, places, situation, materials, and environments. That is generalization, which is very, very important in autism and which is usually lacking. Independence. Independence does not just mean that wearing my own clothes or cooking my own food is independence. No. Independence is the ability to initiate, complete, and manage daily tasks. If a child is able to wear own clothes on instructions, okay, go and wear your own clothes, change your clothes. That I don't call independent. We say child is good at ideas. When I say child changes the clothes. But when do I need to change my clothes? When they are dirty, when I wake up after taking shower, that thought that this is the time to change my clothes, that decision and the initiation of changing clothes and right from initiation till completing the task. That is the true independence. So the ability to initiate, complete and manage daily tasks. So you need to initiate, the child needs to initiate on his own, complete it and manage, make appropriate decisions related to daily tasks and functions with minimal assistance across home, school and community settings. That is independence. So we need to look into that also. Initiation, completion, decision making are very important parts of independence. So these were total 35 concepts that I could categorize for development in autism. And I'm sure that you all might have related with these. And you can start practicing as parents at home. Just do the assessment of your child, which areas are lacking, where child is doing good, and start practicing in an activity-based learning. So take-home message for this webinar is Concept development is the foundation of communication, learning, social interaction, and independence in children with autism. Teach concepts systematically using visual supports, modeling, repetition, and meaningful real life experiences. Practice skills across different people, places, and situations to promote generalization. Collaborative involvement of parent, therapist, and teachers is essential for long-term success. Early intervention and consistent concept-based teaching lead to better functional outcomes and greater independence. That's all from me. When we teach concepts, not just words or behaviors, so not just speech and behavior, but the concepts, we empower children with autism to understand their world, solve problems, build relationships, and live more independent, meaningful lives. Thank you. Thank you very much with this. And now I'm open to the questions. If you have questions, feedback, or anything that you want to discuss about the subject with me, let me have a look at the chat. If I'm able to see, there is a message. Milena Bob said no sound, but no other has complained. I hope there was some problem, technical problem at her end. Okay. Any questions anyone has? I'm open to the questions. You can unmute and speak, or anybody wants to give the feedback about today's session. Do you feel it was related and the subject was connecting? Anything that you want to talk about, or any concept that I might have missed, you want to add into it, please feel free to do that. I will also learn from. Yes, Milena, you are hearing now? There was some problem in between, or I don't know. I mean, I'm sorry, I saw your message late.
Good evening, Alok sir.
Yeah, good evening. Good evening, ma'am.
This is Mahalakshmi sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, I have a student. I'm seeing the child right from 3 years, like nursery, LKG, UKG. Now he's in grade one.
Mm-hmm.
They are twins. The girl child and the boy child. Girl child is fine at learning, but the boy child, he is intellectually good in other ways of everything, managing himself to playing with children, and but he is not into learning. And this we have observed from nursery itself, and we were telling parents to, take him to therapist regarding that.
Mm-hmm.
And his behavior is little different from others.
Mm-hmm.
Like if somebody says no, he just keeps. He keeps it for himself, and by the end of the day, he will see that who said no, he beats them.
Mm-hmm.
He will hurt them.
Okay.
And he wanted to learn, but he is not able to learn.
Mm-hmm.
And um, what I should say is like is he confused, or how? What is the what are the interventions other than parents? What are the interventions that we need to take for the improvement of the child? He doesn't know
Ma'am.
he's in grade one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm observing the child from 3 years. Now the child is 6 years.
Okay. Okay.
And intellectually, everything is fine, but except the academic.
Mm-hmm.
And
So,
father doesn't want to agree that he has a dyslexia problem.
okay. Okay. But do you see that he has dyslexia problem?
Pardon, sir?
Do you see that child has dyslexia? You are saying that?
Yes, sir. Yes, yes. He has that. Not
Okay.
only that, he has dysgraphia, other things also.
Okay.
He is completely zero in academics, I should say.
Okay. Okay.
But he wanted to. Now I am seeing prior, like he was just silent. He was not opening. Now he is telling. The
Mm-hmm.
other day when I was sitting in my room, he came and he was telling, I am not good at learning. He was telling me he is not good at learning.
Hmm.
He
Okay.
understands, he communicates everything. But he
Great.
is not writing, he is not able to. He wanted to, but he don't know. And parents, because there are two twins, they are pushing the boy with the girl so that he should not feel inferior.
Mm-hmm.
And now
But this,
also when I'm telling the parent, he is denying the fact, saying that irrespective of he has SLD problems, parent says that no, as he is growing, he can learn anything. You don't. I'm not particular on academics. I don't want like don't complain me on his academics. If he's
mm-hmm.
not learning anything, also there will be a day where he can learn everything.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so
So,
I,
but from our end,
uh-huh.
what I can do, because
See, I see that
taking
this
lakhs
child
of
really
rupees.
needs help. Yeah, Lakshmi, I feel that this child really needs help, ma'am. And it's just that he is not learning academics. Otherwise, he is
Yes,
able to speak, he is able to express, and he is understanding that I am not good at learning.
he can
Not,
communicate. He can communicate in English, sir.
hmm,
He speaks. He plays. Everything he does except
hmm.
concepts, learning concepts.
Okay, so I have one assessment. I can share the link. Are you part of the webinar group, ma'am?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So I'll share the link of Alpha Assessment. You just go through that, and I
Okay,
would request the parent to go take the Alpha Assessment, where we can actually
okay,
do the assessment of the brain, all 10 domains of the brain. So in Alpha, what we do
okay,
is
okay,
brain's 10 domains assessment, and we understand which areas are child is doing really good, which are strength
okay,
areas, and where child
okay.
is struggling. So if child is struggling only in
Okay,
academics and learning, we can teach academics and learning with the help of other strength areas, not necessarily through
okay.
writing or reading, but with the help of other motor
Right.
movements or other areas. So you can do that. But before that, we need to also have acceptance in parent. Now, the
Yes,
acceptance in
yes,
parent will not come by putting a label on the child. If I
yes,
go
yes.
directly and tell to the parent that child is with dyslexia or dysgraphia, or child has this problem, or child is not learning, or you need to do this therapy, parents actually go into denial. So here I am seeing the parent is into denial. So what we
Yes.
need to do is we need to first create the acceptance in parent that child
Hmm.
needs help. Child can
Hmm.
do everything. So you
Hmm.
need to apply the strength-based approach. Make a list of strength of the child, not the
Right.
challenges.
Right.
Okay. And talk to parent about the strength areas. Okay.
Okay.
So parent will feel connected with you that, okay, now so far parent is looking at you as a person who's just trying to find mistakes in the child. Now you don't
Hmm.
look at
Hmm.
the mistakes or the weaker areas. Make a list
Hmm.
of 10 and tell to the parent that your child is doing good, good, good in these areas. That is very good.
Hmm. Hmm.
And now we need to provide support in the other areas so that other areas
Hmm.
also come.
Hmm.
Okay.
Done, sir.
So
Thank
with
you.
Alpha, we can
And
definitely work on it.
I just want you
Mhm.
to share the link where I can also post them that.
Sure,
And
sure. I'll share it
first
in the
I'll
group.
try to negotiate, speak to them. Then
Yes.
I'll share this. Meanwhile, if I'm helped with that link, let me check
Hmm.
how early I can do that.
Okay, okay. Sure, man. Sure. Anything else, you can connect with me. I'm here to support.
Sure, sir. Thank you so much.
I have some chat messages. Khalat, it was an eye-opener, a lot helpful, and less we are doing, but this order makes it more organized. Yes, we are more or less doing it, but all of this looking together is important. Many of the times we are missing, Khalat, we are missing many areas. So thank you so much. Milena says, very interesting display of every concept. Thank you, Milena. Thank you, Pravina, ma'am. Okay, yes, getting the sound. My question is the session that we parents are following, why school teacher can also benefit from. So why they are not included? So they can apply many things which they may not be aware of. My view is it's continuous process where the parents engage in learning. So why schools, as in Mauritius, they are not invited to be involved in the process? You mean to say in the process of these webinars, Milena? You can unmute and speak, no problem. You can unmute. You're on mute right now. No,
Yes,
yes, yes. So you mean to say that we should invite the school teachers also in these webinars? That's what you mean to say?
yes, yes,
Definitely, definitely.
absolutely.
Our platform is open to all. focused on parents, but for therapists, for in the webinar group, there are many therapists, many teachers as well. So our platform is open to all. And in Mauritius, we have been closely training the teachers of Angel Special School in Cheminigre. I'm there in next month also, August also I'm there. I'm visiting in Shemagrania in Angel Special School. So yes, we are involving teachers also. You can also help us to promote these webinars. These are free of cost initiatives. So the teachers whom you know, the schools whom you know, please share a word about this group and about these webinars. All the recordings, previous sessions recordings, not all, but many of the recordings are available on my YouTube channel also. So you may please share the links with people and it will help us. We are a non-profit organization and we depend on the support from people like you to create awareness about our programs. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Mary, for your compliment. And thank you, Lakshmi ma'am. Any other questions from any parent? Anything? Any question? Any input? Yeah, Kumkani, please unmute and speak.
Okay, as a how can we know if a child has truly understand? Let's say you were teaching a child the concept of numbers. So how can a teacher know that this child has understood the concept of numbers, not not that the child has just memorized it? How can teachers know that this autistic child has understood it?
Okay. What we need to do is we need to create activities based upon personalized activities based upon child's developmental level. Okay. And teach these concepts. If child is through those activities, if child is able to do those activities, the concepts are the child knows the concept. Put the child under situations related to different concepts and see the reactions. Observe the reactions of the child, output of the child. And then you understand whether child is understanding this concept or not. There cannot be one single formula for all children. As in autism, each child is different. So we will have to personalize and create activities, strength-based activities. Okay. So if you have a specific child for whom you want to do the assessment about these concepts and create activity plans, you can connect with me individually and on basis on the consultation, child history, understanding the child's strength and challenges, I can create the plan which you can execute at home. Okay. So this is not for you only. This is for all the parents. If you need support to how to develop these activities for my child, connect with me. We can book alpha assessment first, and after alpha assessment, I can create the concepts, activities based on these concepts that you can execute easily at home. Okay, and in our activities that we create at home, they are very, very simple. Parents can just read and understand and do it. If you need guidance also, so we have a project called Aspire, where there are special mothers who are part of it, and they give hand holding and training to parents to execute. So a regular guidance on a alternate day basis or weekly once, weekly twice basis is also available. Okay. All right. Any other question from anyone?
Hello, sir. This is Ashish.
Hello, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ashish. Yes.
Yeah, sir. Sure. I thought so. Yeah.
There was
So,
some sound in between,
yeah,
but
yeah,
I
yeah.
think there is no. Yeah.
I have a son who is now 3.5 years to 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
We tried for his schooling in the normal school.
Mm-hmm.
However, like what we understood is that he's not ready to like sit in the class, or he's not like his sitting tolerance is very low, very, very low. So right now we have put him into the Bliss by Butterfly Learnings program.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's been now 1 month. Okay, so what we understand from there is that there is a kind of an improvement in his behavior, in a sense, like last since last week he's not crying to go to that particular school.
Mhm.
So eventually that is what we want to kind of first make him school ready, and then eventually would want to mainstream him. Okay.
Yes.
So what is the so I'm not able to understand, is this the trying for 1 year is the right way to look at it, or maybe 1 or 2 years and then later on try to mainstream him? How it could be done? Because what I have understood from the mainstream school, we tried at various places, but however, they would want to kind of have his assessment, and then that's where in the assessment he would not want to sit. He would have his own ways to kind of show his disapprovals. So it becomes difficult for him to get him a proper admission into a normal mainstream school.
Mhm.
So what should be the strategy, and how can we work it out in such a way, we are looking this particular bliss thing as a bridge for his
Hmm.
mainstream.
Hmm. Okay. First of all, Ashish, in autism, there is nothing time bound that in 1 year or in 2 years. It is
Okay.
response bound. Strategies we create, we give activities to the child on basis of that child develops, learns, and whatever response child gives, accordingly we set the difficulty levels, increase or decrease. There are children who are in this pre-academics in school readiness program. Within 3 months or 4 months, they are ready for the school. And there are children who take 1 year also. Okay.
Okay.
So I cannot give you a time frame for that. But yes, I can plan, I can create a school readiness program that you can execute at home, and the child can be prepared for the school. We need to look into what all is required, what all is there in mainstream school, where our child stands, and what are the difficulties he may face in the mainstream school. Right from being comfortable with strangers, being comfortable with classroom sitting, being comfortable with sensory concerns in the school, till copying attention, alternating attentions, everything. All these concepts that we have spoken today, we need to look into what all is required in the mainstream school. So individually, we need to do an assessment of the child, understand, and then prepare a school readiness program. School readiness program that is available, like preschooling programs that are available, uh, they work well with children, but with children with autism, it becomes difficult to execute them. Because in autism, anything that we are planning needs to be personalized as per the child. Each child's developmental level is different, and we
Sure.
cannot categorize them into levels or classrooms, or we
Sure.
cannot create a set curriculum for a group of children in autism. That is the difficulty. Under our online schooling for autism, that is an initiative JKP Care Foundation has taken by name of Aspire. And
Sure.
it is indeed the world's first initiative for online schooling for autism. Okay. So we initially started it with the group, but there also, while designing curriculum, we face this struggle that we
Okay.
cannot club curriculum for two children, even if they are of same level in autism, like mild, moderate, or severe classification, or even
Okay.
if they are of same developmental age. Children
Sure.
also require different curriculums because it's about brain's development, different 10 domains. Somebody's one domain is at 50, another domain is at 60, another child's domains are 70 and 30. Total scoring is coming same. If I'm seeing
Sure.
in alpha assessment, we do 10 domains assessment and 1,000 numbers of scoring. So out of 1,000, they get the points. So both the children are coming on, say, 530 and 530 total, but 10
Okay.
domains, different levels. So we
Yes.
need to create individualized plans for that.
Sure. Yeah, definitely, I would be interested in the Aspire program of yours. And so it's an online, but you had started it on a face-to-face basis earlier, is it? How is?
No, no,
And
this is online. Aspire is
this.
completely online process, not on face-to-face basis. Because for face-to-face, we see that there are a lot of schools available. Autism schools are there. So
Sure.
we found that there are parents who are struggling because
Sure.
children are not ready for the classroom settings, or they are living in remote areas where they don't have the access to school or the cost factor, the financial factor. Because of that, we have come up with this project.
Yes.
So Ashish, you can connect with us through jkp.ngo. That's our
Yes.
website. Or you can connect through my number. I've just shared my number in the WhatsApp group. in the
Yes, sir.
Zoom chat just before some time. So you can connect
Yes,
with me and we can take it ahead from there. I'll
yes, sir.
explain. Okay.
Works. Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Okay, there are some more questions. I'm sharing my number once again in the chat box, Zoom chat box. Swana Devi says that please don't forget the request webinar about the screen time for autism children. That is there in the next. I mean, next to this is screen time. So next webinar, I am trying to do it on Thursday, coming Thursday, but looking a little difficult for me. I'll update you in the webinar group or otherwise next Sunday for sure. Webinar topic is going to be the same, either on Thursday or Sunday. I'll be updating it by tomorrow. Topic is going to be the screen time for autism children. Screen time, usually they say zero screen time. I don't say zero screen time. I say you give screen. Screen is a learning method, a learning material for children. But how to give screen, limited time, and what all need to be done, what child should see, and what is our role in screen time, that all we'll be discussing in that. Thanks for the reminder, but it is already written in my diary. Next topic is that only for sure. Bhagirathi. Bhagirathi says, good evening, sir. Sorry, I missed an earlier session. ADL Independence well presented. I'll catch up on YouTube channel. Question answer is enriching. Thank you. Thank you, Bhagirathi. Thank you so much. Anyone else? Any other question? Or we can wind up for today. All right. So if there are no more questions, thank you so much for your valuable time. I hope I did justice to your time and looking forward to meet you all once again, probably on Thursday, otherwise confirmed definitely on Sunday. Okay, I have a message in the group. Milena Bob says, my son learned much from screen. Yes, children learn from screen. Autism children learn a lot from screen. But what they miss when they are on screen, that's what we need to discuss and how we can add that component. Okay, we'll be discussing in the next webinar. Thank you, everyone. Good night. Good night, everyone. And wish you all the best. Have a fruitful week ahead and looking forward to see you on Thursday or Sunday. Thank you.